Close your eyes and envision a vast, fertile continent, not just a mythical island thriving in the heart of the Pacific Ocean eons ago. A golden age of humanity, brimming with incredible advancements, yet utterly erased from mainstream history. How could an entire world, the supposed cradle of all civilization, simply disappear? The mystery of Mu challenges our understanding of time, progress, and even our own origins. Join us as we dive into the compelling evidence that pulls back the veil on Earth's true ancient past. The vanished continent of Mu, unearthing humanity's true origins. For centuries, our maps have depicted 7 continents. But what if there were once 8? This 8th continent, located in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, is now gone, vanished without a trace. Its disappearance echoes an ancient legend, a whisper of a time long, long ago, when a magnificent civilization thrived in the Pacific. Mu, the lost continent. Legend claims Mu was the very cradle of humankind, the primordial source from which all cultures and religions flowed. If you've ever heard of Atlantis, then you must know Mu, for Atlantis itself is said to have gleaned its technological prowess from Mu. Furthermore, according to Plato, Atlantis was merely an island, while Mu encompassed an entire continent. It was on this grand landmass that Earth experienced its first golden age approximately 15,000 years ago. Then, a sudden, cataclysmic disaster struck, causing Mu to disappear forever, gradually fading into the annals of forgotten history. This suggests a profound truth. Human civilization's roots stretch back far beyond the few thousand years we commonly acknowledge. In this journey, we're about to unveil the crucial evidence supporting this extraordinary claim. What kind of civilization was Mu, and what forces led to its demise? Most importantly, if human civilization truly spans more than 5,000 years, how many breathtaking stories have been lost in the intervening eons? A glimpse into the past. Churchward's discovery. Our expedition into the past begins in 1868. That year, in an ancient Indian temple, a pivotal discovery was made by a man named James Churchward. After more than 10,000 years, ancient clay tablets finally resurfaced, offering a window into a forgotten world. When we consider sunken civilizations, Atlantis often springs to mind first. However, a growing body of evidence now suggests that Atlantis was not the only landmass to be swallowed by the sea. In 1926 AD, a book titled The Lost Continent of Mu captivated the world. In its opening pages, author James Churchward posed a series of profound questions. Have you ever pondered what the enigmatic statues of Easter Island have been silently observing for millennia? Why do so many ancient ruins in Central Asia consistently face east? The answer, Churchward proposed, was remarkably simple. They were all paying homage to the same, singular civilization. And James Churchward knew this because he himself had laid eyes on those ancient clay tablets from Mu in an Indian temple. As he asserted, if you dared to read his book, you too would become a believer in Mu. The Abbot's Revelation, James Churchward in India. Let's rewind to 1868 AD. James Churchward, a recent graduate of the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, was dispatched to India by the then Commander-in-Chief of the British Army, Prince George. He remained there for 12 years. During this period, Mr. Churchward became deeply immersed in Indian culture, dedicating his spare moments to studying ancient Indian texts and visiting local temples. It was during one such visit that he had a fateful encounter with the temple's abbot, a revered figure in India. The abbot was a small man, with distinctive tattoos adorning his dark skin, initially speaking very little, leading Mr. Churchward to wonder if he spoke at all. However, as Churchward's visits became more frequent, the abbot began to open up, discussing the temple's construction history, and even granting him access to the temple's secret, normally restricted library. It was there, in the deepest part of the temple, within a cellar that had existed for thousands of years, that Mr. Churchward saw them. Numerous clay tablets covered with strange, unfamiliar symbols. The abbot revealed that these inscriptions were from Mu, the original language of humanity. Over the past 10,000 years, these tablets had been dispersed to 5 key locations: India, Tibet, Egypt, the Maya, and the Inca lands, each guarded by a local brotherhood, an ancient organization dedicated to preserving humanity's most important knowledge. Now, only 3 members of the Brotherhood remain, the abbot confided, and they are the only ones in the world who can understand these clay tablets. If you are willing to learn, I will reveal all the messages they contain. The abbot shared a startling prophecy. Perhaps people will not believe it now, but eventually everyone will discover that the true history of mankind began more than 2 million years ago. Mu revealed, a tropical paradise and its people. So, what exactly was Mu? In that distant epoch, Mu was a vast land where only water and sky met the horizon, situated in what is now the Pacific Ocean. It was a breathtakingly beautiful tropical kingdom, boasting wide plains, rich pastures, and fertile arable land. You wouldn't have seen towering peaks, as the Earth's mountains had not yet been thrust from its core. Near the coastline, abundant palm trees swayed like fields of wheat in the gentle breeze. Along the riverbanks and stretching deep into the interior, wide, flat avenues, paved with colossal boulders, crisscrossed the landscape. The joints between these massive stones were almost imperceptible, a construction technique so advanced it was later transmitted to Egypt, which, according to the abbot, was one of Mu's colonies. Continuing along these magnificent roads, one would encounter 8 cities, verdant with greenery, also constructed from these giant stones. The people of Mu understood that stone was the most natural and harmless building material. They even believed it emitted an invisible energy that aided the body's repair and recovery. At the heart of each city stood a magnificent, roofless structure known as the Temple of Transparency. It was through this temple that the people of Mu connected with the world's creator, whom they referred to as Ra. Although the inhabitants of Mu bore a striking resemblance to modern humans, their spiritual advancement far outpaced ours. In less than 10,000 years after the first human appeared, they had already grasped the concept of the soul's existence, knowing that even after physical death, they would always return to the great source. So reverent were they that they didn't dare utter Ra's name, symbolizing him in their prayers with the word Ra and a circle, the very origin, the abbot claimed, of the Egyptian sun god, Ra. The creation story of Mu. A striking parallel. The abbot then unveiled a crucial clay tablet, one that detailed the birth of the universe and life on Earth. According to Mu's cosmogony, the original universe did not even exist. In the beginning, there was only a supreme spirit, often referred to as the Creator. One day, this spirit conceived an idea to create the world. With 4 kinds of primitive power, the spirit issued 7 orders, entrusting their implementation to 7 serpents. The first order commanded the invisible gases of space to gather, a striking parallel to the Big Bang's initial state. A universal force pushed these gases together until they converged at an infinitesimally small point, giving birth to the universe. The second command then caused the air to condense, forming earth and producing water. Yet, the world remained cloaked in darkness until the third command brought forth light. The fourth command saw land emerge from the waters, and the fifth and sixth commands imbued the earth and its waters with life, transforming it into a vibrant, living world. After these 6 steps, the Spirit delivered its final command: "Let us make man in our image." Thus, humankind was born. Following this creation, the divine Spirit reappeared, exhaling an eternal breath into the human body, at which point humanity finally awakened and gained wisdom. The similarities between Mu's creation process and the biblical account are astonishing. Moreover, in Indian religions, the 7-headed serpent is a recurring motif, much like the Mayan feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl, and the Chinese dragon, all bearing uncanny resemblances. According to the abbot, this is because the source of all world religions can be traced back to Mu. It's also noteworthy that some scientists have found that light was not immediately present at the very beginning of the universe. Mu's creationism, which states that light appeared after the birth of the universe, aligns remarkably with this scientific finding. Could it be possible that Mu's creation theory possesses scientific validity as well? The Golden Age and the Great Catastrophe. In the Golden Age of Mu, under the rule of King Ra-Mu, religion and science were never in opposition. Mu's civilization, having recognized the Creator early on, fostered a harmonious relationship between these domains. The continent itself was divided into 3 regions by 2 inland sea straits. Each region was dedicated to research in religion, science, and education, respectively, with their findings reported to a central council. After the council determined a general direction, they consulted the king for the final decision. This king, the supreme ruler of Mu, was known as Ra-Mu. Ra symbolized the great creator spirit, and Mu represented the continent itself, making Ra-Mu the earthly representative of the cosmic source. Because he was a representative, the inhabitants of Mu revered him but did not worship him. Indeed, on this land all life was considered equal. They never enslaved animals, and naturally, there was no human slavery. In this noble cohesion, Mu's civilization flourished, developing advanced navigation technology that enabled them to traverse the globe and establish new colonies. The Nakal Brotherhood was instrumental in transmitting this profound knowledge and technology to these newly founded outposts. For several thousand years, Earth basked in its first golden age. Although Mu possessed sophisticated science and technology, they advocated non-interference with nature, never excessively pondering natural geography. What they could never have foreseen was that they would ultimately fall victim to the very nature they held in such high regard. The fall of Mu, a force from within. 15,000 years ago, a dull, low-frequency rumble suddenly permeated the land. Within seconds, a colossal super-earthquake struck, inadvertently awakening a massive volcano. As Mu was largely a plain, the lava spread unimpeded across the continent, engulfing its remaining structures. When the aftershocks finally subsided weeks later, Mu lay utterly devastated. This earthquake, however, was merely a prelude to an even greater catastrophe. Despite this monumental trauma, Mu civilization, still valuing nature, decided to intensively study the Earth's structure, particularly its geography. They discovered that the rock layers beneath Mu were riddled with numerous cavities. While these had not posed a significant threat previously, the recent earthquake had critically destabilized the strata. Their calculations revealed that Mu would be completely submerged within a few decades. Under Ra-Mu's urgent directive, the Council of 10 began drafting an evacuation plan. Tragically, they had miscalculated the continent's sinking timeline. Less than 2 years after the initial disaster, another, even more devastating earthquake struck, sealing Mu's fate. It was said that on that apocalyptic night, a terrifying force from the Earth's core reawakened. As the ground violently convulsed, Mu's already fragile strata began to tear apart, consumed by the surging sea from all directions. After a period of terrifying turbulence, Mu disappeared entirely. The only saving grace was that members of the Brotherhood, dispatched by Ra-Mu to disseminate knowledge, had fortunately escaped. They would now bear the solemn responsibility of carrying on the civilization of Mu. The evidence continues. James Churchward's quest. In his book, The Lost Continent of Mu, James Churchward repeatedly emphasized his cautious nature. When the abbot first spoke of Mu, he dismissed it as mere legend. But as the abbot presented more and more clay tablets, Churchward realized the immense truth he was witnessing. He immediately requested to take the tablets back to England, but the abbot refused. Undeterred, James meticulously copied the symbols and drawings onto paper, embarking on his own quest to find Mu. His first destination was Easter Island. According to the abbot, Easter Island was an original part of Mu, and indeed, James found several tablets there. He claimed to have discovered 7 tablets on the island, and with the help of a local elder, he managed to translate them. The elder explained that their ancestors arrived on the island long ago. The island was already crisscrossed with beautiful stone paths, creations of its first inhabitants. These ancient beings could move colossal boulders at will and even communicate with plants and animals. They had instructed the islanders to keenly observe the sky's color and watch for changes in the sun, as these could foretell impending crises. This is intriguing, as some ancient sayings imply animals can sense earthquakes in advance. Could this be what the tablets were referring to? Unfortunately, we may never know for certain. The first inhabitants left the island forever after imparting their knowledge of moving boulders and other wisdom. In their honor, the Easter Islanders constructed the famous statues as a tribute. After examining these tablets, James was convinced of Mu's existence. He immediately extended his search to other Pacific islands, leading to even more astonishing discoveries. Nan Madol, a legacy of Mu? In the northeastern part of present-day Australia lie the enigmatic ruins of the ancient city of Nan Madol. Spanning an 18-square-kilometer area, this site is replete with astounding megalithic architecture. Archaeologists typically date these ruins to around the 13th century AD. However, according to local island legends, the ruins are more than 2,000 years old. Local lore speaks of a time long ago, when two mysterious wizards arrived at Nan Madol from a massive ship. These wizards declared their intent to build an altar on the island. Under their supernatural command, numerous cut basalt rocks soared through the air to their designated places on the island, accompanied by splendid music. It's worth noting that some scientists have discovered certain sound waves can levitate very light objects, but this is vastly different from the 2.5-ton basalt blocks found at Nan Madol. While archaeologists dismiss these legends, they simultaneously cannot explain how the basalt was transported to the island. Research indicates the nearest quarry to Nan Madol is 40 kilometers away, making raft transport the only viable method. Yet, experiments by scientists have failed to successfully transport even a single piece of basalt to Nan Madol. The stone is too heavy, and rafts either capsize or sink. In James Churchward's view, these ruins represent irrefutable evidence for Mu's existence. All unexplainable megalithic constructions and technologies must have originated from a powerful, advanced civilization that has now been submerged. If James Churchward's account holds true, that an advanced civilization can be annihilated by nature in an instant, then how long can modern humanity truly endure? How long can we survive? This ancient mystery of Mu challenges our understanding of history and our place in the universe. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you believe happened to the lost continent? If this journey resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Join us on the next quest into the hidden histories of our world. Peace.